I was going to talk about lean product development, but you guys will see that in what Jack's done here, how to make a product as quickly and as fast and get it to the customer as possible. That's my background, but I'm going to talk about something that's just much more of a passion and something that's really affected me over the past year since the last summit, and that's my ultimate lean improvement, which is creating a vivid vision. So, yeah, let's reset.
You need a bouncer, you got a guy. Yeah. Adam, you were using this, right?
No, it's a different one.
Oh, you have to allow your computer to do it. When you plugged it in, did it recognize it?
Yeah.
So you saw it recognize it?
Yeah.
Here, watch. Escape.
Okay, taking the issue over. So, who here, and I want to hands up, would get on a bus if the destination was to be confirmed? Yeah, there's a few maniacs, but mostly Tom got on there with no shoes on for sure. So most of us wouldn't, really. Most of us wouldn't get on there unless we knew what the destination was. So why do we expect our employees, our family members, or friends to do so? We shouldn't. So again, let's get interactive. Who here has a clear vision for yourself or for your company? Okay, good hands, I like it. A few visionaries in the room. Who here has this vision written down? Okay, a little bit less hands. And who here has shared this vision explicitly with your family or your team? Okay, a little bit less. All right, so the results are most of us have a vision. Most of us have shared it with their team, but not everyone has it written down, and I'm here to show you the power of doing so. So firstly, we'll get into a little bit about me. So my story, from a farming background, and this is me back in the day, a tractor on my farm. We weren't poor, but it sure as hell looked like it from what was around us. And my father taught me hard work, determination, and if it wasn't hard, it wasn't worth doing. And I always liked to do things the easy way, the simple way, but he liked to do it the hard way. And I grew up that way, and that's what took me through, and it paid off, but I knew there was a better way. So went to university and a degree in sports engineering, learned a lot about lean, went straight over my head, and went to America, done football scholarships, and that hard work paid off in cases like that. But most of all, this was me, partying, drinking, didn't really learn enough, and I suppose a lot of people, when they go to university, it's the same thing. So my real education began when I first stepped into Seaton Matters. I met Ryan, Martin, and Jonathan, and they had those same values of hard work, but they liked to do things the simple way, the easy way, and that resonated with me, and I knew that it was the right place for me to grow and develop. So then my lean journey really began when I was closing a gate at Seaton Matters one day, and I was struggling. I was trying to lift this gate, and I don't know if Brian remembers this, but it was dragging along the ground, and the sweat was beating off me, and Ryan just bolted straight into the shed, lifted a cordless jigsaw, brought it back out, shaved about 1 inch off this, and it ran like a new gate. I was hooked. That was me right there, hooked. And that set a precedent in me that things can be simple. You don't have to struggle. Things can be better, and you don't have to do it the hard way like my father taught me, although those were good principles. So my education kept going, Went to Japan with Decky and Ryan in 2017, and it was a phenomenal experience. You know, we talk about brain transplant. Decky talks about leaving his old brain in Japan. Everybody knows this feeling. Mine blown, like night and day. Never will go back. Completely different person. Thanks. So, again, with the guys, just always wanting to improve, always wanting to scale the business, do more, help more people. They came across the Vivid Vision, and the Seating Matters Vivid Vision was born. You know, a very practical book that shows you where Seating Matters was going to go in a few years' time. You know, you call it BHAG, you call it whatever, but this was the vision that we created as a team, which is a very, very important part of it, creating it with us as employees and members of the team. And it was such a worthwhile experience. And as part of that, I ran the design team there, the R&D team, and I created a little mini Vivid Vision for our team to stretch them and push them and help them get to their own potential. So I was racking my brain, searching online, see what was the biggest thing that we could do that really would set us apart. And I came across the Red Dot Design Award. So this is a design award that is competed with Ferrari, Braun, Logitech, you know, all these big names, Toyota, the big brands that you send your product off to Germany and it takes 30 days and they rip it apart and they market on all these criteria, and it's a very, very hard thing to do. You know, I challenged myself and I challenged my team, printed off a certificate of us winning it for a product that we were currently designing. And lo and behold, 12 months later, we won this award. It really motivated the team, and it really drove the decisions that we needed to make in that product design process. So every single process we were doing in there, it was put through our filter of, will this win a Red Dot Design Award? Yes or no? It was a very simple answer. And I say vision drives decision. It makes it very easy, and it's the filter for what you should be making your decisions on. So we went to the award ceremony in Essen, Germany, and all the team was on cloud nine, and it just set a spark in me that, you know, I could do more, I could do this if I set a vision for myself. And meanwhile, I was creating my own personal Vivid Vision all the way through the Lean Summit. When I was talking to you guys last year, you know, this was brewing inside of me, creating my own vision for my life. And I started loading my own vision for 9 years' time. So I set a story in my head. I'm 40 years of age. It's 2031. Where am I? What do my family think of me? What kind of life am I living? And what kind of impact have I had on the world? What kind of dent in the universe have I made? So as part of that, and Adam touched on it, you know, finding your purpose, finding your ikigai, mine really became true. One of the main ones there was to change the course of my family's history from working people to business owners and entrepreneurs. When I say that, it gets my emotions going, because my family, although doing really good, noble work, you know, they had the potential to affect more people, and we all know the effect that business has on people. So that kind of struck a chord with me that, you know, I might need to start my own business here. And secondly, become a role model for my family through reaching my full potential. So if I could do something, I should do that. And if my family are looking at the decisions I made, would they be proud? And then thirdly, build a financial wall around my family that nobody can get through. It's not about money, it's about what the money can do and the problems that it can solve. So that was my purpose, and that allowed me then to formulate my goals for the next 9 years. So the first one there, be the majority owner based business with a turnover of 5 million. So this is me coming from a place of earning a wage and working in a company which I loved, but I knew I could do more and I could affect more people. So I'll not go through all those, but that was the main decision that I knew I had to make. And it was a tough one. It's a very, very tough one. So I left Seaton Matters in December 2023 and started my own business in January 2024. They all look surprisingly happy to see me go there. I'm hoping it's because it was Christmas. So the vision makes the choices you make simple, but still not easy. Leaving Seaton Matters was probably the hardest decision I've had to make in my life, but when I clarified what I needed to do, it was actually simple. So we look at the front of 2 Second Lean, and it says how to grow people and build a lean culture, and that's what we're all trying to do. And Ryan wouldn't have done his job well if I wasn't reaching these levels and reaching this way of thinking. And it's a credit to Ryan, and I owe everything to Ryan to get me to that level, to be even thinking of doing that.
You're here to Ryan.
So I don't want this to be misconstrued in any way. I'm not saying if you're working in a business, you can't affect people, you can't have your ikigai, you have to leave and start your own business to do that. It just so happened to be that my main thing was to change my family's history to business owners and entrepreneurs and become a role model, and that was my vehicle. You know, there's people like Alex, who's affecting hundreds of millions of people through the way he does it through an organization, and like that's his ikigai. So by no means you have to move from your company. It just so happened to be that that was my path. So January of this year, built my own garage, built my own lean desktop company of one, solopreneur, and started Demanu, a design and manufacturing company, based on the contacts that I'd made in the past. And it was scary. My wife didn't work. She's looking after her 2 kids. There's a lot on the line, mortgage to pay, but I know it really met my vision, and it was a decision I had to make. Not logical, but it was a decision that I had to make. Fast forward 2 months, I'd hired another design engineer, and we were building prototypes in our garage, outgrowing it very, very quickly, and I had to back myself. I rented a 3,000 square foot building 15 minutes away, and I backed myself. I made a negotiation with the landlord, 2 months free rent, and I hadn't a clue how I was going to pay for month number 3. I just knew that this was the vision that I had set for myself. So fast forward a little bit, you know, we get the sign up, we get a bit of income, make lean improvements, you know, everything's looking well. Ryan's taught me how to build a world-class factory, so that's what I'm doing, trying to build a world-class micro factory. I've hired my father, so my father who had taught me hard work, I'm now showing him the easy way, and he's now making lean improvements, and he's got a new lease of life. He was working in a potato factory, driving a forklift, but now he's working alongside me, making lean improvements. He's a smarter guy than I am, and it's beautiful working alongside him. And fast forward a little bit more, I've now a team of 5. We're growing after 6-7 months, and I've kind of came full circle of being able to take that team to Seaton Matters, to supercharge them, affect their lives, and I've had like the rest of my family in working with me. 2 weeks ago we bought our first CNC machine, and we're investing back into the business. I'm barely taking a wage. I'm putting everything back into this business because it meets my vision. And another amazing byproduct of it is I'm getting to spend more time with my family, becoming a role model for my son. His favorite thing to do now is come to the factory and cut wood. So it's just that in itself makes the decisions that I've made a lot easier.
That's not blood on the floor, is it?
No, he did cut himself, don't tell my wife, but that is not blood. I'll paint the floor, Jack, don't worry. So we love a before and after. So the before is you have an unclear vision. It's unclear to you and unclear to your people, your family, your friends. that generally leads to an uninformed decision, something based on irrational thoughts that when you're trying to implement lean becomes a less aligned improvement. So that little 2-second improvement is not aligned to where you want to go, not aligned to the mission like your guys' improvements are every single day, Jack. And that leads to less aligned results. So my man Elon Musk, he says don't optimize something that shouldn't exist. So don't improve on something if it's the wrong path that you're going on. That's what I'm getting at. So after creating your purpose, going on that journey of self-discovery, creating that vision, then can lead to a more informed decision. So if your team know that shared vision, you can stand back and let them help it. Let them do it. The way Ryan shared the vision with our team, I took that down into a microscope for a design team and then done that a little bit further, and the results were world class. Then that also leads to a more aligned lean improvement and more aligned results for your business and your personal life. So everybody, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think about the next milestone birthday you have, whether it's 30 years of age, 40 years of age, 50, 60, whatever. I want you to think, where are you? You're blowing out the candles in your birthday cake. What do your family think of you? What role models what role have you been setting for your family? What culture do you have in your business? And what dent have you made in the universe? So just contemplate that for a little second. Okay, let's open our eyes. So just know you're capable of what you're visualizing. I had visualized this, but I didn't believe at the very start that it was possible, but I knew it was the way to go. Make it more tangible by writing it down. Put it into context. Make it a document that you can hand to someone. You can send on WhatsApp. I've done that several times, and it gives positive pressure to what I'm trying to do. I've shared it with some people in this room. And add fuel to yourself by sharing that, yoga-tening that vision that you have, because just put that into reality, it makes it more tangible. And lastly, apply the discipline and philosophy of 2-second lean to make it happen. Thank you.
Thanks so much for sticking around to watch. Please help us by watching this next video.